Hey all, my name is Paul Borosky and I am the owner of Quality Business Plan. And what I'd like to do today is introduce y'all to my first videocast slash podcast slash whatever you would like to call it. But what I want to do is kind of provide y'all with some thoughts and ideas as to how entrepreneurial adventurers such as us may be able to exploit some opportunities in the marketplace based on current events and such. And so from that, my first cast is going to be focused on the great equalizer, which is COVID-19. As we all know, COVID-19 is a horrible virus that has plagued our society, our global society, for the last 2 years. And the ramifications of it is evident in the news on a daily basis. However, even with the worst of worst scenarios or events, there are always opportunities available for entrepreneurs to not only optimize but also exploit for growth and helping society as a whole, whatever your motivations are as an entrepreneur. All right, so with that said, the purpose of this video is just to give you all some different insights as to the effects of COVID-19. Yes, it's damaging our economy, and yes, there are a lot of horrible things that are going on with it. However, just because there's some bad things going on doesn't mean that that small business owners and entrepreneurs can't take advantage of the economic environment and profit from it. All right, so with that said, let's mosey on through this little PowerPoint presentation I've got concocted for your listening / viewing pleasure. All right, so the challenges for COVID-19 is point blank, COVID sucks. We all know that. We've all heard that for the last several years, and we've been dealing with the ramifications from it. So some of the problems as it's creating for entrepreneurs, whether it's a large organization or a small organization, first and foremost, it's sickening our workforce. It's making it harder for our businesses to grow and to succeed if we don't have employees that are showing up for work on time, or heck, if we're even getting sick and we can't go in there. It's also driving inflation. Whatever your spin is for your political views, it doesn't matter. It's point blank. Inflation is being driven because of COVID. If we didn't get these stimulus checks, never would have went out if we didn't have COVID. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, it happened, and we're dealing with the ramifications. If people weren't getting sick, then there wouldn't be shipping delays. So it's point blank that COVID is impacting inflation and is driving it higher, which is again making products and services more expensive, and it's making it harder for entrepreneurs again to grow their organizations. It's also increasing cost. If we have people that are calling out over and over and over again, or they just don't want to work, well, we're going to have to terminate them and then replace them with somebody else. When we replace them with somebody else, we're going to have to go ahead and come up with a campaign to hire them, to find them, to hire them, to train them, and then to go ahead and work through the mistakes that they're going to make until they are well-trained individuals, only to have them come sick again and repeat the process over and over and over again. And we're competing with a smaller workforce because all the other entrepreneurs are doing the same darn thing as we are. So again, it is driving up costs for businesses. And like I just talked about, it's elevating turnover. And then it's just, let's be honest, it's just all out pain in the assets for small business owners, the COVID-19. So we're all aware of these problems, and these are just some of the problems that I can concoct or come up with in just a few minutes. However, even though we got a lot of problems with the COVID-19, there is a lot of opportunities out there as well as small business owners. So just keep in mind, every time we're focused or we're faced with a problem, yes, it is a problem, but there's also opportunities involved. For every problem that we have, I promise you I can come up with 10 opportunities in a short period of time to go ahead and exploit those problems in the workplace or in the society as a whole. All right, so opportunities. So what are some of the opportunities we can come up with, think about, and implement to hopefully exploit the COVID-19? So first and foremost, established businesses right now, whether it be a restaurant or a lawn care industry or a handyman service or just about any kind of business you can think of, these established businesses, they're having a hard time reworking their business models to to accommodate the COVID-19 ramifications. This provides opportunities for startup businesses. If you're going to be a startup business for a restaurant, well, guess what? We have the opportunity now to step back and take a look at how established businesses are suffering, or established restaurants are suffering, based on employee turnover, based on, maybe customers not wanting to come inside because of the ventilation is bad. So there's a lot of opportunities out there that the established businesses, they're having a hard time working through, whereas a startup, we can take a look at those problems right now, and we can come up with some strategies that we can implement in our startup that are going to not only mitigate the problems that the established companies are going to have, but we can exploit those opportunities to draw a loyal customer base from our competitors to our organization. So in summary, we can go ahead and take customers away from established businesses by doing a startup and mitigating the problems that they're having difficulty reworking in their business models. Next, there are opportunities to optimize businesses for small business owners that are already established. So if you are an already established lawn care business, well, guess what? You might be suffering from having difficulty with your, employees, or you might be having difficulty getting fertilizer or sod, or whatever some of the challenges you're facing right now. And you might have had these problems before COVID set in. Well, now that we have COVID right smack in your face and these problems are coming up to the forefront, these give established business owners opportunities to immediately implement optimization strategies that are not only going to be able to mitigate the problem of COVID right now, but the optimization that you do in your business, because you're actually forced to do it instead of that you want to do it, is going to help you not only save money in the long term, but it's also going to optimize your business in the long term too. So just because you're facing established business owners, just because you're facing these challenges right now, it is an opportunity for you to go ahead and hone your business, optimize it, and make sure that not only you're going to be able to get through this, get through whatever challenges you're facing, but you're going to be able to save yourself money, maybe even make more profits in the long term because of the challenges you're facing right now. And then finally, out with the old and in with the new. Unfortunately, there are, or fortunately, a lot of businesses have closed down in the last 2 years because of the ramifications for COVID, and they could not make the necessary adjustments to make sure that their business is going to be viable. This could be a good thing for established businesses because, again, we can take a look at these old businesses. Too much debt. That's one of the big things. Too much reliance on labor when we can use fixed assets instead of relying on labor. There's a lot of business models out there that are antiquated that they should have been put to bed a long time ago. I mean, back in the 1800s, horseshoe makers were everywhere. Right now, I promise you'd have difficulty finding a horseshoe maker because their business models are just not needed, and the services aren't needed anymore, and they've gone the way of the dodo bird. Same thing with these old businesses. They couldn't survive in this kind of environment, and they've moved on and closed down. So as new business owners, we can take a look at what they've done wrong, and especially with the debt, keep your debt a little bit lower, just so you can weather these kind of problems, whether it be a recession or a COVID pandemic. So keep your debt a little bit lower. But anyways, take a look about what they did, and maybe even go ahead and obtain some of their fixed costs. If, again, for a restaurant, they might have old, stoves, or they might have old freezers that they're going to be selling, or tables and chairs. This is an opportunity to go ahead and acquire those assets at a low price, come up with some business models to make sure that when you start your restaurant, or when you start your lawn care business, or when you start your handyman business, or whatever business you're going to start, acquire assets at a lower price and make sure you don't make the same mistakes that the previous owners did, or again, you're going to go with the way the dodo bird as well. So hopefully that's going to be helpful. And in summary, COVID sucks, and we all know that, and we're all dealing with that on a daily basis for the last 2+ years. But for every opportunity, like I said, for every opportunity, there are 10. For every problem, there are 10 opportunities out there. If we just change our mindset as entrepreneurs from looking at problems as problems to looking at problems as more as challenges, as well as opportunities in society and our industry. And then finally, stay safe and stay successful. So hopefully this video was helpful and y'all like the content. If you did, give me a thumbs up on YouTube. And as always, have a fantastic day, and hopefully you'll be listening to some more of my thoughts and ideas on future podcast as well. Thank you.